Hello, and welcome to episode 163 of the Prog Review.
Stop it. You do this
every
time. You don't take Steven Wilson's music seriously. Now do it again.
Okay. We'll do it again. Hello, and welcome to episode 163 of Prog Review. And today, if you haven't read the titles, the proper titles, this is The Raven That Refused to Sing by Mr. Steven Wilson. Oh, yes, indeed. You know, it's funny. It's beginning to feel like, as another month goes past, here comes another album by Steven Wilson or Porcupine Tree or another one of his remixes. I'm wondering if we'll reach some massive Steve Wilson event horizon in which the whole universe is sucked into a sepia singularity, illustrated by Lasse Hoyle. It could happen. It could. The weight of all those CDs is released. Of course, I jest. This is just Wilson's third solo album. It feels like he's done a lot more than that. And it was released on the 25th of February 2013, following on from 2011's Grace for Drowning. And on this album, there's a concept running through it. And the idea is that the selection of songs are scary stories, containing all manner of ghosties and ghoulies. Now, I got caught by the ghoulies once, and boy, did it make my eyes water. Oh, suit yourselves then. Anyway, there's been a bit of a shake-up in the band. Whereas the previous album had a number of guest stars, Pat Maslow, Steve Hackett, blah, blah, blah. He's retained the services of Nick Beggs and Theo Travis and brought in Marco Mini Driver Man, Guthrie from Govan, and some bloke called Adam Holtzman. I've never heard of him either. The album was co-produced. Oh, I've got something in my eye. Oh dear, that's not good. It was co-produced by the now legendary Alan Parsons, though he left his Alan Parsons project at home, which I believe was some sort of hovercraft. What do you mean? I can't steal jokes from The Simpsons? I mean, come on. This is a reference to popular culture so that the cognoscenti can enjoy and chuckle along by themselves. It's perfectly acceptable. It's not theft. It's a reference to another show. Come on. Anyway, the album opens with the song Illumino, which you may have heard on the live album, DVD, Blu-ray, watch it, whatever you want. I think one version they actually beamed it straight into your brain. And it's actually, Lumino is named after a very clever chemical. Oh yes, it exhibits an unearthly blue glow when it comes into contact with an oxidizing agent. It's the sort of stuff that CSI California Norfolk uses to detect whether there's any blood left at a crime scene. But to my mind, luminol sounds like a luminous hemorrhoid treatment. Oh yes, and I can even imagine the advert. If you want your arsehole to really glow, you'll need a tube of luminol.
See? You had to do it again.
Come on, it's a joke. Come on. Funny boy. Just don't get these fans. Anyway, the song concerns a busker. Oh yeah, and he dies and his spirit lives on to play his songs. Can you imagine him outside Tesco's or wherever? But he was unnoticed in the real life, and he's ignored in the spirit world. So he goes from waking world, he's ignored, spirit world, he's ignored. It's a bit like being a YouTuber reviewing progressive rock records, really. I know the feeling. The song starts at a cracking pace. Oh yeah, boodlum, and the bass and drums and initial guitar chords make it sound like, Yes might have done on Drama. Even the vocal phrasing sounds it's been directly lifted from Tempus Fugit. Oh yeah, go back and check. Go on, off you go. And yeah, there are Mellotron samples, so we definitely know that this is a progressive rock song, and also it's 12 minutes and 10 seconds long, so that cements its proggy credentials. Okay, I'm having a bit of a poke. The bass playing is superb, though we do end up going into noodly territory. But the problem is I don't understand the link between the lyrics and the music. It's not particularly a ghostly song. It's not even gothic. It doesn't scare me. It's just, what it is. This sounds like a throwback to Grace for Drowning to me. Though I must admit, parts of it, it's not a bad bit of prog, but it's, the problem is it lifts a lot that's gone before, and that's the problem with this modern prog. It's always looking over its shoulder. So there you go. The next song up is called Drive Home, and this one slows the pace down, and it sounds a bit like a Porky Tree type song. And the story is about a man who's blocking out the trauma of a car crash until the ghost of his dead partner comes back to remind him that, his actions were what killed them. Ooh, scary stuff. Ooh. The strings on this really lift the song, and on the 5.1 mix, it really, sounds superb. But it does sound like one of his other songs. It's the phrasing. It's the way he does things. It's the way he sings. You got to hear it to understand what I'm getting at. But it's not a problem. It's a stylistic thing more than anything else. However, there is a really great guitar solo from Mr. Govan, I believe, and it's not a bad song. But again, it's neither ghostly, gothic, or scary. But so with Wilson describing it as like a ghost album, the music is kind of away from the premise of the record. I don't know. So that's one issue I have. The stop-start syncopation returns for the Holy Drinker. It's about a pious, hypocritical alcoholic. Oh, we all know one of them, don't we? Who foolishly challenges the devil to a drinking competition. Should have got me to do it. I used to drink for England. Yeah, I got bronze. Theo Travis is the star of this, with some suitably squealy saxophone histrionics. Oh yeah, I swallowed a dictionary. Now I really did try. Honestly, I tried to resist the appeal of this song. I see what I did there. But no, I must admit, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun. You see, you thought I was going to say something else. It's got lots of big chordy bits and twiddly bits in it, and the kitchen sink is thrown in. But the end section actually works quite well, because you can imagine there's kind of ghostly voices and this, that, and the other, and you can imagine the title character, lead character, being dragged into hell. So this gets a thumbs up. Now the pin drop is the shortest track on the album and concerns a violent event, a murder, set off by a single pin drop. Hits the title. The lyrics are quite good, but my problem with the song is that, again, the song doesn't match the music. I think a more subdued song, perhaps like a simple piano ballad building up to something big and angry, would have worked a little bit better. But instead, we have this barrage of instrumentation, and it buries a chilling lyric told from the dead woman's perspective. So I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity, but I'm sure you guys love it. Next one up is The Watchmaker, and Mr. Wilson's admitted it's a bit of a crib from need me teeth again. Ellen, who the fuck's Ellen? Edgar Allan Poe. I'll get it right in a minute. 40,000 Feathers on a Thrush. I can do that one. It's from Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. He's kind of cribbed it from that. And it's about a workaholic watchmaker who kills his wife, buries her under the floorboards, but she rises from the dead and won't lie still. It's okay. It builds in a good way, but it loses itself. There's this syncopated interplay bit with the drums and the bass and the guitar, and then we hit this big crescendo. And subtle, it is not. I found that bit, that end section, really irritating compared to what had gone before. Now, I liked it up until that loud end bit, and I thought it was kind of unnecessary. Now, it could have just stopped it on the piano bit before that, and it would have worked better. And then it goes all, but that's just me. You have a lovely piano vocal part, which is then squashed by the big heavy end bit. But, what do I know? Oh, the battery light's flashing. The last track on the album is The Raven That Refused to Sing, and the opening piano and vocals sounds... Well, it reminded me, it doesn't sound like it, actually reminded me more of Radiohead's Pyramid Song and Morning Bell kind of combined. I actually think this is the best track on the album, and it's the one that actually works the best. It evokes a real atmosphere, and the strings on it are just sumptuous, again, especially in 5.1. So this gets a really big thumbs up from me. Now, I've listened to it on the CD, I've listened to it on the 5.1, I've listened to it on headphones, on the iPad, And the DVD version, as I said, features the album mixed in 5.1, and the usual. Stephen Wilson does a great job with the mix. It's, as I've always said, he's the best producer of his generation. I'll give him that. The DVD also features a making of documentary, which you can see bits of it on the official YouTube page. And, it's interesting to see the band, doing their thing. The only disappointment for me was not having the video to the title track on the disc. I really like that animation. I was hoping to see it with a 5.1 surround sound mix, but unless it's on an Easter egg, I couldn't find it. And I really like the DVD menu, which featured a Ouija board, and which adds to the ghostly vibe. Now, I like this album a lot more than Grace for Drowning, it's obvious, which irritated the heck out of me. And I like the concept, although I do feel in places the music didn't really evoke an atmosphere that was required by the lyrics or the story. But if you want a really good gothic, modern gothic album, check out The Future Kings of England's Who Is This, Who Is Coming, a review of which you can watch by touching my little hand here. Oh, touch that hand. Now, in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this a healthy 4 blackened hearts out of 5. Yes, that's 4 blackened hearts out of 5. And pick up this one with the DVD in, because you get the surround sound mix. It's really worth listening to. Adds an extra dimension to it. And that's that. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been flapping me chops talking about Stephen Wilson's The Raven That Refused to Sing. This one here. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Thumbs up to share it on your social doodad. Thumbs down if you think I'm talking a load of doodad. And leave your comments in the box below. Up, down, sideways. You know, but don't be rude. Some people like to just insult me, and that's not really going to achieve much, is it? Anyway, that's that. Only one more thing to say, and that is prog on.